We're at the location site for the LPOP. We're gonna push up and we're gonna get set in. All right, let's go. Go. All right, guys, this is Bangalore Productions. Just making a video today talking about OPs, observation posts, hide sites, and a little bit into surveillance and just how you should go about it in small teams. So we're out here. We just established a hide site with for our observation post on 2 silver SUVs that we had prior to this, to our step. We had information on there would be 2 silver SUVs, so we came in close enough to where we can observe them, set up a hide site so they can't observe us. We don't know if there's any personnel in the SUVs. We just know that there's 2 SUVs here. We don't know what to expect for personnel. So yeah, we set it up. We got our rest spot right here, tarp over our packs and our gear, and then one of our boys is up there on the gun right now in the observation post. So in a few minutes, it'll be time for shift change. We'll head that way and we'll talk you through what we did and exactly what steps you should take to establish your own observation post for your training. All right, coming for shift change, over. All right, that's it. So we have 2 silver SUVs and about 200 meters out. Any personnel so far?
There are 3
Okay.
unknown. We have seen them with small arms.
All right.
It appears that they are building a shelter.
Okay.
Binos and rangefinder are in this pocket. And now, since we are roughly 2 hours till sundown, nods are on the helmet by the pack back here.
Sweet. All right, guys, so we just showed you what it looks like with a hide site, how you operate in and out of it. And I got my buddy here with me. We are gonna discuss how we set this up, why we set this up, and considerations for yourself when setting up a hide site and observation post. So I don't have a lot of experience with hide sites or observation posts. It's not in my background. My buddy here, he'll take over and he'll explain what we did with the hide site.
All right, well, thank you for having me on.
Of course.
To start off with a little bit about my background, I spent about 3.5 years in a weapons platoon. So I worked with a lot of weapon systems and a lot of like forward observation, that sort of realm. Still currently active duty in the military, and we're just gonna walk you through what a little LPOP, hide site, whatever you want to call it, is gonna look like. So if you want to pan over to your left, this is like a very hasty hide site. This is something that you would set up expediently, and you're not gonna really stay here for too long, at max 24 to 48 hours. Right now, what we're using as a base is a mossy oak, gilly bale type thing. This is pretty solid under IR, so I know a lot of people are worried about the near infrared spectrum. This is what everyone likes to say, NR compliant. Same thing with drones and thermal. This will block some. In this scenario, it's not, because it's going to be in pretty close proximity to our skin. So it's going to absorb that heat that we're getting rid of. But if you string it up above you and you have it suspended by either some sort of bungee system or 550, it's gonna do a pretty good job of masking your thermal signature. So right now, we have no real UAS threat, so we're not worried too much about threats from the sky. Right now, what we're most so concerned about is them spotting us. So if you want to go to the front, so whenever you're going to be observing, your eyes are going to be drawn to shadows and stuff where you expect people to hide. So you want to be in the foreground. You never want to be in the background. So if anyone were to look for us, they'd probably look inside the veg, not so much somewhat in the open. So considering that this mossy oak bale is more so brown, finding some sort of bark that's kind of replicated by this pattern is going to be the best. So we kind of set up where these trees are down, and then obviously looking around, you kind of want to match what the environment looks like. So using some of this pine, you want to orient it in a way that is natural. So you don't want like this. You want the grain of the leaves to be pointed in the direction of the people that are going to be observing. Same thing, we have our bale going all the way down to the deck. All we're leaving exposed is our muzzle and our optic. And then setting up on the inside, if you want to come around, workspace is everything. Whether you're going to be on a long gun, on a machine gun, mortar system, what have you, your workspace is everything. So you have to have it set up in a practical manner. So back here, this pack's going to have everything that the person that's going to be observing needs, whether that's pocket chow, water, extra batteries, NVGs, so on and so forth. Considering that it's going to get nighttime soon, we left a very simple NVG setup since not everyone in the team is running nods right now. We have one guy that had nods, so we set it up and we're leaving it here. So as we cycle off, we're only running one tube. Moving up here, you want to have a comfortable place to sit so you're not moving around a bunch. And whenever you're moving up to a target, you want to move head on. You want to limit, or you want to have as little horizontal movement as possible, because that is going to give you away a lot faster than straight on. Then all we have here is just a piece of binoculars, rangefinder. If you know that your enemy has the capability of tracking your azimuth through some sort of laser system, you don't want to have anything that's going to emit that downrange signature. So you need to have some sort of way of being able to find your distance without it. Right now, we're not concerned with that, so we have just a very simple laser rangefinder, as well as binoculars for getting better eyes on than through this optic. Now, as you see, we have just a regular SPR build on a tripod, looking at the SUVs downrange. And as you're switching, you want to keep that pattern of just going straight back and forward. You don't want to have too much horizontal movement. And that's a pretty simple, down and dirty rundown of what a very hasty LPOP is going to look like. Getting into what I brought out to prepare this little LPOP height sight. I like running a regular GI issued bandolier. So any of you guys in the military, you guys are very familiar with these. What I like to do is just take out that little white string that separates the bottom of the cell. Pretty simple shelter building materials. So I like running some shears. I like to put some grip tape on the handles just to make it a little bit easier, especially if you're working in like wet, swampy conditions or jungle environment. Cordage, pretty simple, just some 550 that I have daisy chained, and I also have some boot bands and bungees. I think that boot bands and just like little bungee cords are superior for building shelters because you can take them down real quick. folding saw. We're not going to be doing any sear type stuff, so don't really bother with having like an axe or like a machete, because that's just going to create noise. You want to be as stealthy as possible. And then a veil. So let's say you don't have time to set up an entire shelter like this. If you're just in some sort of micro terrain with some good cover, you can just throw this veil over top of you, and it's going to do pretty much all you need it to do. So this is like a last resort kind of thing. Moving on, just some pocket chow. Got some Energizer trail mix and some beef jerky. Pretty simple. Then I just got a simple chest rig, nothing too crazy. I'm not going to go over really exactly what my kit is, because that's not what the video is on today. But for binoculars, I just have some Vortexes 10x20s with a laser rangefinder on the side. And then I just got a regular fixed blade, because these things are money in the field. And for a 24 to 48 hour patrol mission, you're not really going to need a sleep system unless you're in a very austere environment. So what I'm running for my rest cycles is just a soft shell jacket that will protect me from any water or moisture, as well as insulate me. And considering that we are somewhere that is very, very infested with insects, I like to just throw a bug net over my head while I'm sleeping, as well as having some bug spray. These are two things that I'll never leave home without. For NVGs, I just have some PVS 14s, white Foss, and I have them on a dovetail mount, just a regular bump helmet. And then moving on to my pack, all I got is just some change of socks, some merino wool, some more bungees, and that's pretty much it. I like to keep it pretty simple. I just got 4 liters of water on the outside, as well as a sand sock. Then up here, I just have my poncho in case it's really downpouring, and you can also use this to make a shelter, as well as some pack scrim. And that's pretty much all I would bring on a 24 or 48 hour patrol.